count your money. Damn, my menthol gets super strong when it's not hot enough.
Really?
Yeah, it's difficult to even explain.
It's bizarre.
What's good, YouTube? It is your boy Thesis, aka Thesis himself from Vaping with Thesis. That's right. God bless it. Now look. So, first things of the firstness. First things first, I'm the realist. Okay, Mandy. I need you to go ahead and.
Can you tell me why there's a 4-minute ad at the beginning of your video?
So I can make $4 a month. So please don't just.
Why 4 minutes?
Just go ahead and just watch.
I'm waiting. There's 2 minutes left.
All right. So go ahead and address chat, please.
I can't get into it.
Okay. All right, guys, I'm sharing this on Patreon right now. Bam.
YouTube notification. Bam. Trying to find it.
Bam. All right, so I'm gonna do pop out chat quick. My Ninja Monks. So we were not here.
There we go.
Last week.
Oh. Me.
When did we ever turn that volume up? God, we are such a train wreck.
I know.
We weren't here last week. We were on vacation. We did the vacation a little bit early, in particular, specifically for. Sorry.
What do you mean we did the vacation early?
We usually go on a Friday.
Did
Late. Yes. Guys, we are so fucking tired. Hashtag Ninja Militia motherfuckers. All right. Bam. Baby, you want to do chat? There it is.
Yep. Okay, so I got it on my phone here.
All right, perfect.
It's got Melanin Queen, Kyle Long, G Holmes, Georgia Boy, John Q, Stu Rep, Hobag,
My ninjas.
Will Boyles, Chef Steven, Emily, Al Forbes, Tetley Man.
Who's that? Oh, Tillman. And he spotted Dick Jam Roly Poly on Vacay. Yes, it was phenomenal, my Ninja Monk. Lando from the land of cheese. Did you hear that? Sound like someone knock. Did I tell you what happened a couple nights ago? I watched somebody walk across, and it wasn't even the corner of my eye. It was like this whole peripheral. It was just like so clear. Holy shit! Thank you so much, Hobag. Appreciate the fuck out of that, brother. Walk across. Oh, it's the children.
I was gonna say that was definitely.
That's a knock. Yes. I'm in Anchorage. Bam. All right, my Ninja Monks. Thank you so much, Hobeg. Appreciate the hell out of that. Oh, shit. So, Mandy doesn't sound like she's comfortable with talking about it right now. Her salon is going to be doing a help rebuild salons that were affected by the riots here. And we don't necessarily know the details yet. So we are going to do a show specifically for what's going on, Amy, specifically for that charity in particular. So with that said, we're not going to do it this evening, but we're going to do 0.25% of all super chats, or 50%, something like that. We haven't worked out the details. Are going to go for those charities. So with that said, keep that in mind. I'm hoping to do it this coming Sunday. We'll see. Mandy does go back to work on Tuesday. I'm super excited about it.
Huh? Did you get done on Sunday?
What
are we hoping to do on Sunday?
Find out more information about the help rebuild salons and stuff. Yeah. So I was going to do it tonight, but Mandy's a little bit more comfortable with more information, which is great, which I get it.
So I can get in here a little bit.
Trying to say. Keep giving out the chats, and I'm going to share this real quick. Again, guys, please be patient. You guys kind of know the rigmarole. I'm sharing the stuff on the social medias. Go ahead, baby.
We've got Ray, Amy, Bobby. Welcome, guys. So we just want to do a little recap of our week. So this is our 5th. Excuse me, you guys. We've been outside all day today.
It's not just all day. We've been lifting bullshit
busting
today.
Our asses all day today. So this is the 5th year in a row now that we have done this family vacation at a cabin. Like Na said, we used to go over Memorial Week, but the boys still would have to go back to school, so we weren't getting to stay for the whole week. So we were able to bump it back a week this year, and with nobody being around anywhere.
Why does it still say that?
we're able to stay for the full week. So this is the first year in the 5 years we've actually have been able to stay Friday through Friday. So that was super cool. The weather was great. We had one afternoon of rain, and I mean, that was really it. We did a ton of fishing, out on the boat, a lot of drinking, a lot of eating. We had our own little like sunfish fish fry on our last night there. So that was a nice way to kind of wrap it all up together. And then yesterday, of course, was running around and getting all caught up and taking care of everything.
You
And
just
then
skipped over all the best parts.
What?
So check this shit out. So we get there, right? So the first disaster, you can call it one of the most embarrassing moments of my fishing career, okay, is the fact that we've been taking Mandy's dad's boat out for a couple of years, well, a year. Last year it started to get real questionable, right? The gears, the slip gears, the it's a pinion gear that comes down. Literally, you put it in the gear and it goes in forward or reverse. The issue was all of a sudden it wasn't going in forward very easily last year. Definitely a problem. So myself and Tyler ended up by changing the oil, and it legitimately, the gear oil, and it legitimately fixed it. Like, it just fucking fixed it, which is so rare. Like, I was just got done telling Tyler I've never had one of those experiences where, how would you say this? I've never had one of those experiences where, like, he will go to clean out a car or like do something that his buddy's about to take it to a shop, his snowmobile, for example. And oh, lo and behold, it's not running because there's a blade of grass in the carburetor. Like, so, and I'm like, I've always heard stories like that of like dudes like, oh my God, I had the whole motor ripped apart.
Have you tried to turn it on and turn it off?
Exactly. And come to find out it's a piece of dust that's blocking the vent in the gas tank. You know what I mean? So it's not able to actually suck the gas, just little stuff. I've never had that happen. So, like, as far as I'm concerned, those stories are all fake. They're not real. They don't actually happen. Now, the boat was that story for me, because it wouldn't go into forward gear, it would go into reverse.
Can I have the water, please?
Yep. And all of a sudden, Tyler and I changed the fucking oil. And all of a sudden, it worked perfectly. But the problem that we found was there was no oil in the gearbox. It was literally 600 milliliters of sludge, the smelliest,
really bad,
stankiest, rank ass smelling gear oil you've ever smelled. It's horrible to even. I've smelled dead things that smell better than this.
Yeah, it's bad.
It was bad. So fix it. What I didn't know was that there was a bit of a leak. Okay. So we bring the boat to the lake. Myself and my brother-in-law, Sean, go. We're just kind of just romping around, just fishing for not really panfish, but trying to get, bass, anything we can get. On the way back, all of us, and it was working perfectly. All the way back, and then it finally went in. I was like, that's not good. Got about 30 yards, and all of a sudden, like, it just went out of gear, popped back out of gear. Clear sign there's no oil in the fucking gear, in the crankcase, in the gear case. Make it back to the boat slip that we have. The next day, Mandy wanted to go, so I said, fuck it, let's go. Back out, no problem. Going in a forward gear. Finally get across the other lake. And if you guys are unaware, Minnesota's huge lakes, millions of them. And we're like a mile and a half, 2 miles out. Now, the moment we tried to start going forward to go back to shore, back to the boat slip, we got in gear for about 3 seconds. Same thing. All of a sudden it pops out. This time it never went back in. I had to drive a 16-foot fiberglass 140 horsepower boat in reverse from the very tip of the side of the rear end of the lake to the very tip of the other side of the lake. I guarantee you there are photos and or videos on the internet of this event from everyone who is laughing.
Because I also had to sit on
the front
little like peak of the boat. I had to sit on it because we kept taking in water on the back.
On the back, we were sinking. Yep. So I had to drive a boat backwards across a 2-mile lake at 4 miles an hour.
And we made it.
And
we left it there.
Left it right there. And then
didn't leave it there. We took it out of the water.
Took the boat, backed it up, and we fucking took it out. And then Tyler comes with his boat. Now, if you're not aware, bass fishing is easy. Okay. When they're biting, they're fucking biting. You can fish with any topwater bait. Okay. Frog, you can even use live bait, not live bait like live, but the actual brand live bait. They'll eat worms. They'll put anything in their mouths, right? They're like hookers. So we just thought we were having a bad news bears day, because me, Little Nas, Mandy, we were just catching bass on worms, that we were just actually fishing for panfish. Throwing the bass back. All of a sudden, the next day, Tyler and I are out for 6 hours. Just the first part. We didn't catch anything but a fucking tan. And we make our way over to where this river is, where we saw people catching bass the same day and the day before. They were coming in real early in the morning. Like, so where'd you guys go? They would hit up the stream. We thought it was a stream. It doesn't look like a boat can fit. It does not look. Luckily, we got a Mod V boat, so it's a flat boat, flat bottom, basically. And we end up by going through this little channel, zigzag, and it's basically may as well be a different city. It's got $75,000, $85,000 fucking boats all day long in this private boat slip. And we read the sign, says private property, no trespassing, blah 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 blah, homeowners association. It's a gated community, right? And that was when shit started to go down. Now, with that said, I'm going to pause that story there. Go.
What?
Go. You're part of your story.
Did we got the pontoon in there?
Yeah.
We got the pontoon in there.
Your side of the story sucks.
It's because the story is taking a really long time.
Oh, I'm sorry. Make a long story short, I fucking told it last night in the Patreon Zoom. It was pretty hectic. It was the most rich area we didn't belong in, and we were getting looks left and fucking right. We hit the dock because his remote control for his trolling motor went out. And so we were spinning in circles at 7 miles an hour, maximum speed, in going in circles. It looked like we were wasted. Like, to the people that would actually live there with these giant manors and mansions, it looked like we were wasted. Meanwhile, we were cold sober.
There were no adults there to think that you guys were drunk.
No, there was adults when we had gotten there.
Oh, because it was all just children wreaking havoc.
Yeah, Cody and Dakota and Jake and Tommy. Oh, it was the most whitest. Not that I'm just saying, it was genuinely a scene out of I don't know what it was. A scene out of the whitest kids you know, plus just wealth. Just wealth, overwhelming. Your dad didn't let you take the range. You took the Lexus. What are you on, welfare? Brian, you ought to tell your dad to fuck off and you get to take the range. That's the type of conversations I'm talking about. Yeah, saw it. That type of shit.
I was there.
Yeah. Dakota.
But it was a good week.
It was a phenomenal week.
We fished on top of a sunny spawn. So we caught lots and lots and lots of sunnies. Lots of sunnies.
It was delicious. Some of the best fish fries we ever had. Yeah. P.S. guys, the barrages did come in. The new barrages, all matching sets. Look at this. Look at this. Look at this. Now look at that. God damn. Now, what's your favorite part, baby?
Of the vacation?
Have you been listening?
I am. Sorry, my mind. You guys, we just have to tell them. So today, we've had this wood pile in our backyard for
years.
7 years.
Yeah.
We've had this giant wood pile, and it's just like, it was covered in a tarp, and then more wood got put on, and it was covered with a tarp and got more wood, and it was just like, and it wasn't really a wood pile anymore. It was just like thrown behind the wood stacked. And
it was a wood pile. It was, at one point, it was a cord of wood. It was like, it's like 6 cords of wood.
Yeah, and it's a lot of fucking wood.
Yeah.
And I found this thing on Pinterest that I wanted to organize and stack it so it looked nice. Because right now it just looks like 2 piles of tarp.
Yeah, tarp was over it, so it was just rotting.
Like mouse-eaten tarp.
Yeah.
Just like draped over the top.
It smelled pretty bad.
It was disgusting. And so today, without the intention, like, I went out there today, I had other things I wanted to work on. So I went into the backyard today and I started working, and all of a sudden, next thing you know, we're restacking all of this wood. But you guys, it looks fantastic. So we literally moved and restacked all of the wood that was in our backyard. And we've been outside all day. So my brain and tired. My brain is tired and my body is tired. But my favorite part of the vacation is just like
the fact that we had to do nothing.
I was gonna say just vacation. Because the whole time that I've been laid off of work, it's been like, at first it was like this big push to get NASA's Suburban done. And then it was like immediately it was like this big push to get ready for vacation. And then So it felt like very much, and then we've been busting our ass trying to get our backyard put together, and just like it just seems like it was just like something and something and something and something and something and something and something. So it just felt nice to just like, I mean, of course you're still like cleaning up and doing dishes and all this kind of stuff, but like when you don't have your own backyard to look out at and be like, oh, I really should go mow the lawn.
Also
or,
got
oh,
also got super preoccupied with the riots.
that was a completely different. So
Yeah.
on top of all of this, you guys,
Hit the like button, managed kitties.
So this was my perspective of it. So we left Friday.
Yeah.
On Thursday, the day before we left, I hadn't seen all of us siblings and my mom hadn't been together since before all of this coronavirus started. So we finally were all able to get together so we could just like go out for a walk, have some ice cream. And my younger brother lives in Minneapolis, and we're out on a walk, and he's getting messages from his partner over and over and over and over and over again, and videos over and over and over again of like all of this rioting and looting that's happening literally across the street from his apartment. And at first, like, it didn't really click with me. And I'm like, yeah, they're protesting, they're doing, like, it just didn't really click at first. He was like distracted on his phone the whole time. And I'm like, kind of like not really understanding.
Right.
Until, like this, he's like literally was across the street from the precinct that was burning down.
The important part was like that he's in an apartment he was safe.
Yeah.
Bob fucking Ellis. He's got a riot in his pants. So what happened is Steven, George Boy, Yanni, Ray, Chef Zivibao. So what happened was I'm FaceTiming with him during this time. Manny passed out, and we're just talking, and I'm like, go over to your window, let me see what's going on outside your house. And he's only like 25 minutes from us. So there's fires, and I'm literally listening to an explosion. I don't know why my phone didn't pick it up. It was on screen recording. It just didn't pick up the noise, like the conversation. I think that's probably a legal thing. But there's a singular explosion, and there's a bigger explosion. Now, where shit gets interesting is people were ripping out ATMs out of the Wells Fargo. They're fucking running it over. They got them open, which was like, how?
Destroying every single commercial building around. People are like taking hammers to the self-checkouts at Target to try and bust open to get the money out of them.
It was crazy. So what happened, then it kind of clicked, and I was like, you got to get out of there. Come to find out, because his apartment complex just so happens to be attached to a government building that they started to loot. Yep. Not loot, but riot in.
Yes. So he did leave.
Yeah.
He did leave the city for a while, but went and stayed with some friends. So Friday, when we're getting ready, on Friday we're getting ready to leave, and it's this like huge panic because I purposely saved all of our grocery shopping. I was going to stop on our way up, so that way I'm not like out grocery shopping, bringing it all home, unpacking it, repacking it, unloading, all of these things.
Yeah.
So purposely saved our grocery shopping for when we're getting ready to leave, and we're getting ready to leave, and all of a sudden his mom's like, hey, so I just got a phone call that the grocery store you guys are going to, like, they're headed, like, the protesters are headed that direction.
Yeah.
So we got to the point where literally just like throwing everything else that we can find into the back of the car so we can get to the grocery store, and everything was fine. We made it. We got to the cabin. Everything's good. But literally all weekend long, we're just like watching all of this unfold. I mean, on our phones.
Yep.
I had
Snapchat and shit.
An old coworker of mine who was hit in the face with a rubber bullet. I have a coworker and her boyfriend that were tear gassed at the protest. I mean, like, it's like very close to home.
And so I had a change of heart. At first I thought it was one of the most dumb fucking things you could possibly, like, you're burning down your own neighborhood. You literally burnt down 190 low income apartments. You know what I'm saying? Like, how fucking idiotic is this shit? Then I was listening to a podcast, and someone put it in a way, I forget her name, put it in a way that I'd never heard before. And that was the Boston Tea Party, where it was 1777. From Mike, if I'm wrong, correct me. What happened was they sent messengers. They sent messages, and they sent letters and decrees, so on and so forth. And what ended up happening was they were ignored. Period. End of sentence. So what they did was they destroyed their own town, their own city, in terms of like the Boston Tea Party dumping their shit into the fucking ocean on purpose, because they weren't going to pay the tax, however the rest of it goes. But the way that she had put that, I was like, I never once would have thought of that. So at first I was like, this is ridiculous. However, The silver lining is that there's a change, and it's now on a global scale. And to think that started in South Minneapolis, where, like, Minnesota's got some hood ass parts. You don't go to Northside. Northside's horrible. It's not horrible, but it's definitely not where you want to be, like, if you don't belong there, right? Southside.
The one thing that I was listening to the radio and I heard somebody describe it, it's like, I mean, it's like a haha, but at the same time, like, it's not. And it's like, have you ever had your wife ask you to do something over and over, and you said, yeah, I'll get to it. Yeah, I'll get to it. Don't worry about it. I got it. I'll do it. And then finally she gets fed up and she starts slamming kitchen cupboards and throwing the garbage can out the door.
Yeah.
But guess what?
It gets done.
Yeah. You're paying attention to what she needs now.
Precisely. And that's exactly the way I was like, I've never would have thought of it in that respect, and that aspect of it really changed my mind. And I was like, wow, but there is being changed. Now, there are things that I'm not necessarily sure how they're going to fix. Like, they just defunded Minneapolis Police Department.
They haven't yet.
They're going to defund.
The Minneapolis City Council is moving to defund the police department. Defund and
reinstate something else.
Dismantle. I'm not really sure what that means, but they're going to defund and dismantle.
But it sounds like they're not going to have anything in terms of it's not going to be anarchy. They're going to put something in its place.
They're working to rebuild the community with a new model of public safety.
And that's via CNN?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, this is a CNN article.
Adrian Daniels.
And they're going to shift the funding from the police into they called it community-based strategies.
Right.
But they're still discussing exactly what that's going to look like.
And Adrian, to touch on that, that's what I'm saying. Like, at first, that was my first reaction, right? But then when I heard it put in a different sense is when I understood what was now happening. Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And you guys, the riots got really crazy here for a couple of days.
Yeah.
Like Friday, Saturday.
We know what dismantle means, Emily. Come on now.
I didn't.
What?
That's right. I know, but in regards to like a police department.
Yeah, to separate to different units for different shit, which is yeah.
But the rioting here and the looting got really bad Friday. Like Saturday was
it made Ferguson look like a child care program.
Friday was really bad. But then what happened is
160 some fires.
The peaceful protesters started acting and the community started acting, and they were like, people were like arm in arm guarding around like small businesses, and people like peaceful protesters were calling out the people who
with names.
And I don't know if you guys heard this or not, but a lot of the people who were doing these things were not from Minnesota. A lot of these people were from out of state coming into Minnesota to loot and riot and make these huge scenes. Yeah. But so I would say come Sunday night, like since really Sunday afternoon, the violent part of it has gone away. And now we're just seeing a lot of peaceful protest, like a lot of it. Marches, like sit-ins in front of the governor's mansion, and all that kind of stuff.
I definitely think the rioting was absolutely necessary to get the attention. There's no way you can ever get the attention of the higher ups and get immediate action with fucking stupid signs on the highway. Like that's never going to happen. In order to cause immediate action and immediate change, you need chaos. Now, I'm not saying it was great, right? I'm not saying what happened, all the shit that I'm saying that it's sad and it sucks that that's the case. And listen, I'm coming from a perspective that I was in disagreement with it at first. Like in complete disagreement, you know what I mean? Yeah, it's nuts.
Stephen, I'm not ignoring you. We were just talking about that. We were just talking about how they're looking to define the police department in Minneapolis.
Love you too, Jeremy.
Not ignoring you.
Oh, Zach M. I heard about that shit, bro. There was another one. I think it was I don't know if it was San Francisco.
Oh, I had that here. Hang on. I found an article that said, so I found something that says, in just a week, footage showed police in Buffalo, New York push an elderly protester to the ground, causing him to bleed from the head.
No, that was fake. That was fake.
Right? This is from CNN.
Yeah, that was fake.
In Fort Lauderdale, an officer was placed on administrative leave after shoving a kneeled protester during a demonstration. In Kansas City, Missouri, footage shows an officer using pepper spray and restraining a man who was yelling about using excessive force.
Old man, cop, blood, head, fake footage. Which is the one where blood splattered out of the back of his head?
I have no idea. I don't watch the videos.
No, I watched it.
No, Will, I totally agree that there has to be some kind of law and I mean, like, obviously not all cops are this way. Like, obviously this is the case, but we have also seen with all of these, like, people protesting, and there's a lot of like live footage of what these cops are doing with excessive force. Like, it's one of my old coworkers actually was live on Instagram and caught the footage of him getting hit in the head with a rubber bullet. They were literally leaving a protest and walking down the sidewalk, and he got shot in the head with a rubber bullet. So no, I mean, like, yes, there has to be.
No, I can't find it. It was just on Rogan too. And then another podcast I was listening to said one of them, and I shouldn't say the 75-year-old man one. One of them was fake. And I'm like 35% leaning towards it was the old man one. So if you see the other side of the footage, he literally had a blood bag attached to the back of his dome piece. Not saying I'm not 100% sure, but there is one that's fake, and it's fucking sad that they have to go to that lengths to do shit like that, because there already is legitimate real stories. The New York one, the one that blows my mind, and it's not even that violent or anything, it's the fact that the cops drove into the protesters. Like, they drove into the protesters. Even, dude.
Flavor Chaser said it's crazy in New York right now.
They drove in. It was at Manhattan. Into the protesters. You're trying to keep your job and trying to keep a safe face for the police, and you do that, and it just boggles my mind. I don't understand.
There was something that happened.
Think about it.
There was a police officer that from New York who was suspended without pay for using
Pasha's Gaming and Reviews. I know there was one, I think he was a retired police chief. Was that Minneapolis? Where was that?
What?
The police chief was shot and killed. It was an ex-police chief or a retired cop, something like that. I think it was a black dude too, which makes it that much sadder. Like, it's, I don't know. I've got knee-jerk reactions that I gotta calm. You know what I mean? St. Louis. Was it St. Louis? Okay. Yeah. This is where they ran over the
Al Forbes. Police pepper sprayed a congresswoman the other day.
Jesus criminy.
Yeah.
Mike, let's see.
What was I gonna? There was something else that I was gonna.
Yeah, St. Louis police captain, not police chief, captain. I saw this one. Thank you, Mike, for pulling it up, brother. I'm looking at it right here. Man has been arrested, faces charges including murder. Last week's shooting death of St. Louis police Captain David Dorn amid riots and looting there. Officials announced Sunday. So this is wow, how fucking sad. Yeah, and this is coming from Fox. Man, what a sad story.
Yeah.
What a sad story.
I was going to touch on this too, that the officer that was involved with Floyd appears in court tomorrow.
That fast?
Yeah, he appears in court tomorrow on the charges of second-degree manslaughter and third-degree murder, and the 3 other officers are going to be charged with aiding and abetting.
I thought it was second-degree murder now.
Second-degree murder, third-degree, no, second-degree manslaughter, third-degree murder. This was on the CNN report I just read.
Tonight?
I
thought it was second-degree. They upped the charge.
Oh, you want to know what? Okay, so there was some confusion now that you say that, because the first part of the article said second-degree manslaughter, third-degree murder, but then under the aiding and abetting, it said second-degree on both. So I can't imagine they would be charged with second-degree aiding and abetting and second-degree murder if he was being charged with third-degree murder. So, no, I did read that. I think I read that too. So this must be.
And then Chef brought up one. I watched the video. It's pretty fucked up. Listen, I get protesting, but jumping in front of a semi, he wasn't in front of it. He was on the side, and he got drugged between the wheel conveyor. I think it's called a conveyor, the wheel conveyor. And he didn't get drugged. He was stuck in it on the wheels and literally got skinned to death. To death. That type of shit is, I don't know. I'm sorry. Flavor Chaser, they need to rot in jail. Agreed 100%. Flavor Chaser, would you like to join? You're in New York, bro. Let me know. I'll send you. What's your email? I got it.
And then there's something else that I wanted to talk about too, is I am going to admit that I had no idea about the Breonna Taylor case
This one is
until
fucked. I want you to
yesterday.
read it.
Yesterday, I kept seeing all of this information about Breonna Taylor.
Now, mind you, this is not the first. I've heard of this happening so many times. But this one hit hard.
So then I pulled up her article to read it, and basically what had happened is Breonna Taylor, the cops had a no-knock warrant for her apartment building because they had suspicion that somebody was receiving drug packages at her apartment. And the judge ordered a no-knock warrant for her apartment. So the officers claimed they knocked and identified themselves, but Brianna's boyfriend, who was with her, said there was no knock and no identification, and he just heard somebody breaking into their apartment. And he is licensed to carry and had a gun in the bedside. And when the officers entered into the building, he was fired because he thought they were being robbed. And then the 3 officers returned fire, and Brianna was shot and killed 8 times in her apartment in the middle of the night.
Fuck that.
And so that has really come to life over, because there's a lot of people who say that, Floyd was not a good guy. He was on drugs. He was doing illegal activity and all of these things, which I understand people feeling that way. It just doesn't make what happened. There's not an excuse. That doesn't create an excuse for what happened. But so then they're saying that people should be bringing more attention to Breonna because she was a CNA. She was going to, I think, EMT school or something. But so,
Flight Chase, I need your email, brother. I can't find your email.
Is so now her family is suing for wrongful death. The 3 officers involved were not charged. The police chief stated that he's going to retire at the end of June. But after all of this happened, the way the police chief was trying to get in front of it was he insisted all of his police officers wear body cams while on duty. And after he had announced that he was going to retire, he actually got let go of his position because one of his officers shot a black man in the middle of the protest and his body cam wasn't on.
Of course.
So it's just reading through her case, there is also just so much sketchy shit going on. It's so sketchy, you guys.
One of the biggest things that doesn't seem detailed enough with the way you just spoke about it. Because when you read it to me the other day, it was...
Well, I read the entire article. This is just... that's what happened.
I know, but it's way more detailed than that.
Broke into her apartment. I mean, they had a warrant, a no-knock warrant, and shot her because they had suspicion that somebody was receiving packages at her address.
Have you all seen?
But they already had this. They already had their suspect. They already had located their suspect. That was another part of it that was super sketchy.
For a wellness check. Nemesser for a wellness check?
No. They had a no-knock warrant.
Right. That's what I thought. It was a no-knock warrant for something.
Yeah, because there was a lot of, now there's some lashback about the judge who signed off.
Was it something that he's done before? Or?
I don't know. I didn't look into that much. There is really not a whole lot about her case. A lot of stuff isn't. There isn't a lot of information about it, actually.
I was gonna say the information on it is pretty sketchy because what the stuff that I was listening to, because there was a little bit muddled information, specifically on not the warrant side, but what the cops claim happened versus
what her boyfriend is saying that happened.
Right, but it's also the other cops' report didn't necessarily match up, and it was a very suspicious, almost or was it that they matched up too perfectly? It was almost basically a carbon copy of each report. It looked like the same guy wrote all of it for him, kind of a deal. Yep. And I don't know. I don't understand how shit like that happens. How do you get a...
Holy shit. As we're reading this, Yanni just says, at Adiana.
Uh-huh.
Oh, that was the wellness check story.
Oh, okay. Okay.
And then Adrian says Tatiana Jefferson was playing a video game with her nephew. Cops didn't announce himself, just shot her through the window.
Jeez. And who is this one? Tatiana Anderson?
Jefferson.
Jefferson?
Yep.
Holy fuck. I gotta
Yep.
write that down. I want to read
Yeah, I
that
know.
story. Wow. That was just last October. 28-year-old woman was fatally shot in her home by police officer in Fort Worth. Early morning, October 12th, police arrived at her home after her neighbor called a non-emergency number stating that Jefferson's front door was open. What the fuck?
Just that her door was open.
What the fuck? Police body camera footage showed that when she came to her window to observe police outside her home, Officer Aaron Dean shot through it and killed her. Police said that they found a handgun near her body, which, according to the 8-year-old nephew, she was pointing toward the window before being shot. On October 14th, Dean resigned from the Fort Worth Police Department and was arrested on a murder charge.
Type in, I don't know how to say this name. So type this name in. Oh, that's the one.
What is it?
That's the one that I was going to have you type in. The other one was, oh, it is. Okay, never mind. It's the same. It's the same case.
Wow. Wait, so was she pointing the gun out the window though?
I don't know.
I don't know. I gotta get more in depth with the stories, more familiarize myself with it. Because there's been stories too that I've also read that, like, what the fuck was the one where dude got shot when he was on his all fours and he went to pull his pants up and the cop just emptied his clip of the AR on him. That was a while back.
I was gonna say, I think I remember that being from a while ago.
Yeah, that was a couple of years ago. But either way, like shit like that happens. I don't know. It's pretty crazy. What do you think it's going to take in order to make a permanent change? Do you genuinely, do you think this is a change that's going to happen?
I think so.
For sure, for long term, or is this going to be something that stirs up more of a divide? Because it seems like it stirred up more of a divide.
I mean, I think that's how everything happens though. Like the initial gut wrench reaction is like, pick a side. But then I think once like the change does start to, like, I hope so.
Peace, Lando.
Really hope so. I really hope that this is like enough to start. There's been a lot of talk too about how, this is going to change the way the like police are trained and that kind of stuff. But like, it's just the same thing as everything. Like, regardless of training and regardless of like, there's always going to be abuse of power. There's always going to be,
Do you think so though? You don't think that the worst part is that the body cams, you should be, if you're a police officer and your body cam didn't capture something because you didn't turn it on, that should be grounds for being fired. How about the peeps who are against the National Guard being called in and not understanding what being voluntold to do their jobs they were told to do? Yeah. Thank you, Chef, so much for the super chat, brother. That's a good question. The thing is that I think the National Guard should be called in to protect businesses after the initial riots, to make sure it doesn't happen again. The problem I've got is not with the National Guard, it's the way that because police are not trained in a militaristic sense. Does that make sense? We had 40,000 across Australia march and protest here on Saturday. That's awesome, LabWorks. It's good to see your face again, man, or good to see your name again in general. Missed your face.
We had the National Guard here. I don't know if Nas showed you guys at all, but like, we were supposed to go back to work this week. I was supposed to go back to work this week, and this past week, and our bosses made the decision. They went up and boarded up the salon and boarded up all the windows of the salon, and I got a picture while I was gone on vacation of a National Guard member standing in front of, like, full suit with a gun, standing in front of our salon.
They were supposed to be unarmed too.
It was like,
Jordan DeRoy, how's it going, brother? We are being safe. Yeah. And the thing, I'm trying really hard not to discuss Trump. Just because I know how divisive this subject can be.
I was just gonna say, like, the only thing I'm gonna say is Adrian said that Trump is the reason we have division. It was, but then Hit Me Up said the division existed before Trump. Yeah. I agree. I don't feel like
Trump is the wood splitter. Does that make sense? Like Trump is what is, it's like Trump is taking advantage of that gap that's already there and then making it wider and wider and wider. And that's kind of a scary thought, because like I've got like educated friends who love Trump, and it blows my mind.
I literally sit in the middle of two extremes.
Yeah.
In my life.
So let me talk to you about a conversation. I didn't get a chance to tell you about this at O'Reilly's the other day. Walked in O'Reilly's, and it just walked in the middle of the most conspiratorial, and they were talking about these things like they were facts, that China made this COVID-19 on purpose to murder to kill off elderly people who tend to be more conservative, elderly men who tend to be more conservative, so that way they could get Trump out of office. Talking about it like they were facts, and that thank God that we're out of the United Nations and that the World Health Organization doesn't apply to us, because the reasoning were the reasonings this elderly gentleman and all the employees at O'Reilly's and Rosemont were saying, because the United States has a superior immune system, and that 5G isn't going to affect us, or is going to affect us worse than COVID, that it's going to kill people by
What is
5G towers, Mandy.
I keep hearing about 5G and
Nothing is going to happen. There is zero scientific evidence that there's anything remotely unsafe about 5G. Now, granted, that, I mean, we've had radio waves in the airwaves since the 1920s, 1930s. That's radio waves, which is different. It's a different frequency. But either way, what I'm getting at is like the fact that these bubbles exist where people believe that this virus was made to kill elderly conservative men in the United States,
so crazy,
to get Trump out of office, to lift the tariffs in China, is by far and away one of the most bonkers things I've ever fucking heard.
Yep.
Zach M, exactly, Zach. People were saying I remember this on Coast to Coast AM. I'm a Coast insider. I fucking hate George Norrie. I don't hate him. His interview style is like, my 7-year-old asks better questions and is more inquisitive than George Norrie, the host of this. I gotta calm down. But still, I pay the $7 a month to fucking listen. It just blows my mind. I hate listen to this show, Coast to Coast AM, since I was a kid. It used to be amazing with Ian Punnett, Dave Schrader, who's Darkness Radio, one of the greatest. I want Chef to hit him up. Yeah. It's absurd. It is. It absolutely is. What do you think? Do you think China made it to kill off old conservative men?
No. Somebody else said in here too that like that story could be more believable, but like, how do you like that they did release it to kill off people, but not for political reasons?
That's what I'm saying. And exactly, like, did it come from a lab? Maybe. It's really doubtful, although I have a hard time believing in coincidences. So I do think that it's very interesting that it came out of Wuhan, China. Just so happens to be the biggest biggest lab, experimental lab.
Somebody else told me that they heard that that China developed the disease because China is where all of the black market body organs come from. So they developed the disease to cover up for all of the bodies that were.
I believe that way before I believe the killing off conservatives. Spring, what's going on? Let's see. Flavor Chairs, love it, bro. Go be happy. Pashi's Gaming and Review says it wasn't supposed to spread. I think they were trying to use it to control protests in Hong Kong. What, you know what? And that's more believable. I genuinely think that's because Hong Kong, it's a you got to remember it's communism China. And there's a lot of protests against the shit that they do, including, now this is something that you guys got to remember. I'm not conspiratorial minded. I'm very evidentiary, but I've slowly started to, Subaru, love you, bro. Steven, woo. I've slowly started to see more and more evidence about body organ harvesting and people who practice Qigong and I forget the other name for it, Qigong and something else, who practice that particular religion, that way of life, are being put into encampments, put into concentration camps, essentially. And then say a businessman from the United States, from Australia, etc., goes over there. Subaru, God bless, man. Have a good evening. Ugly kid. And then they're harvested for organs. I've never believed that up until, I want to say 3-4 weeks ago, when I started listening to this dude on Dave Schrader's podcast, Dark Radio. It's not a conspiratorial podcast. My favorite part is Dave Schrader asks questions that make me uncomfortable. Like, he does not take shit from his guests. And he's not mean about it. He's just like, well, this doesn't make sense. This, that, the other. This dude brought full-blown interviews from congressmen, from congresswomen, representatives, senators, and from not just the United States, from the UK Parliament, of investigations of that particular subject, full-blown, with names, credentials, and dates, paperwork, full documentary coming out soon. And I tell you what, I was talking to Doc about it. She's like, it's been happening in Africa for years.
Organ harvesting,
killing people on purpose, prisoners.
Do you know how much money? Do you know how much money it costs to buy an organ on the black market?
I remember
$40,000 for a kidney on the black market.
Oh, okay. That as a kid, I heard this $250,000 for a kid. Let me tell you something.
I don't know.
If it's $250,000 for a fucking kidney, I'll say a kidney. I don't even use both those bitches.
Mm-hmm.
I don't even need $250,000. I would be set for life. For life. I'm not complicated.
Be set for life on $250,000.
Yeah. Okay. I would buy 30 acres in the woods, put a double wide in a shop, and my truck would be supercharged. That's it. I'm done. What else do I need? I would have a compound where I would do my podcast, and I would start a paranormal conspiracy podcast. It would be called Evidentiary with Thesis, or My Thesis of Everything, or Thesis Questions Everything. Thesis Questions Everything. That's a good name.
And I wonder. Okay, so Stephen just brought this up. He said, "Yeah, but they might kill you since the doctors aren't pros." I actually think that there are doctors that are also being paid.
Yes.
Black market.
Bing, 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 bing.
Do the surgery.
They don't kill you. You know why? Because you're a wealthy white dude from Western.
Who's paying them cash.
In cash, yeah. And believe me, listen, I am someone who's not going to conspiracy bullshit without evidence. Evidence to me is very important on everything. I believe in the paranormal because I've seen it with my own eyes. I've heard it with my own ears. And I'm still very skeptical. And it's almost to a flaw. You know what I mean? So the shit that I do believe is because I take in
deep dove.
a really deep dive. I do not fuck around.
Yep. You don't touch on a subject lightly.
No.
And you're pretty good about if you don't know anything about saying,
yeah,
you want to know it?
I don't know.
Yeah.
That's also, but I'm also okay with changing my mind though. Like that's why I thought the riots were idiotic until I heard that analogy. I was like, you know what? That makes a lot of sense. If they want change right this second, which I do, I want change. I get scared. Bro, when they pull my name up and my name is all Spanish, I get real nervous, right? Especially driving my truck, like, oh, this truck's too nice for you, or just some weird shit. We don't like your kind around here. I can't imagine being black and getting pulled over like that, especially right now. Yeah. Because as much as shit's changing, what scares me more than anything is like what happens when a dude's like, oh, you're black, you think you're special, you're gonna get special treatment now. And then them on purpose going even harder. Doctors take an oath to never do harm. They're to do surgery, but they take an oath very seriously. So do cops. Cops take an oath to uphold the Constitution. Doesn't mean anything. Money talks. Bullshit walks. It's that simple. My first name is Universal. My 4 other names are not so much. Bam. See, I've got 8 names. These fucking gnats made it in here. I have no idea what I'm gonna do with these things. Missouri skill tooth.
Ugly kid. Seth said you like your spirits too much to give away a kidney. I think you have to quit drinking if you only have 1 kidney.
I might do it for $250,000.
Yeah.
Yeah. I would just put vodka soaked tampons in my bum chum at night. Because then it goes right into your bloodstream. It doesn't have to filter out.
Okay. That sounds like a good idea.
I think so. Portuguese with 4 Hispanic names. Bam. Damn. 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 Tell me your story.
What do you mean?
What's your story?
I don't know what you mean.
What's your life story? I don't think I've ever heard it. I mean, I've heard all. I know it because I've heard it all in bits and pieces. Tell me something I don't know about you. Have you ever been to a protest?
No.
You ever shot somebody?
No.
I know you've never punched anybody because the way you punch me is adorable.
I know. No, I've never hit.
My
anybody either.
favorite thing in the world is when you punch me with your thumb.
I was gonna say I tuck my thumb inside of my fingers when I punch.
Yeah.
I've started to try but then I feel like I'm like this.
You rub it in
Just like,
and then rub it like that.
I don't know how to hit somebody.
My first name is Al Salim. I couldn't get a job after 9/11, so I had to break it up to Al Forbes. No fucking way.
Wow.
That's sad.
Yeah, that's really sad.
That's super fucking sad. That's so sad. That's depressing.
Yeah.
But look at Louis C.K. Louis C.K. is Mexican as fuck, but his last name is actually C.K. like spelled out, not C.K. I'm just thinking about. So yeah, I forgot. I don't remember his middle name. Luis Vargas C.K. The comedian. Who's another one? Martin Sheen, because their last name is actually Estevez. Martin Sheen, he changed his name Emilio Estevez because his dad was already famous, so he didn't have to. Something like that. I don't know if they're Mexican or Spanish, but I know Louis K is Mexican, but he's redhead. But then look at someone like I just forgot the name. The boxer, the redhead. I don't remember.
I have no idea.
No, me neither. The barrages, guys, did drop, so we will be doing the pre-sale. I didn't think it was going to take this long to take the pictures of each one, but there's a lot of them, and there are some that will be sold as a kit, a matching kit. This Purge, for example, huge shout to Steven. Steven, I don't know if he wants his last name out there. Maldonado.
I was gonna say he's right here. So
oh, okay. Sure. My red tampon. This one's mine. Can't take that. And then we have the Cherry Bomb. I call it Bass Tracker Red. Look at that. Son of a beehive. Big Doc. Charlie Sheen's real name is Carlos Estevez. See? Thank you, Big Doc. Appreciate that.
Do you want to talk about the barrages? Do you want to talk about what that's going to look like?
Yeah. So all of them but two are going to be $120 plus $10 shipping. So $130. You also get Bearded Vikings top caps. You get a full barrage plus the custom Palmer's Powders top cap, custom slam piece drip tips, acrylic, as well as ray coils, lethal coils, and the last of the stickers. And we are in the middle of working with the Cricut. Mandy and I are trying to learn Illustrator. So look at her face. That's what she looks like when she comes. Yeah, to do the t-shirts. We're gonna self do the t-shirts. Huge shout out to Molly, my sister-in-law. She just joined the militia. She's gonna be doing custom cups. So if you order the barrage, and you want a matching cup, 24-ounce tumbler.
I'm sure you guys have seen ours. I've got a Gonia's one. He's got a Sasquatch one. She does a fantastic job. Yes,
Stephen. And it'll be 180, I believe, plus shipping, with a custom matching cup, 24-ounce tumbler. So if you get this setup right here, you have the identical custom tumbler with Bearded Vikings top cap, custom slam piece matching, the actual barrage itself plus coils. It's a pretty intense deal. I really wanted to make sure that everyone got Canelo Alvarez. Thank you, ugly kid. Fucking Seth. Damn it. Canelo Alvarez. Yeah. Irish looking bastard. Thank you, Steven. I appreciate that. I think I'm white, but yeah, Al Forbes sounds like you belong in Forbes mag. It sounds like you're a CEO of something.
Big Doc, they're ray coils. It says what kind of coils?
Oh, ray coils and lethal coils. They're going to be alien fused Alien Clapton, and also there's some surprises in there. We'll figure it out. Tim sent Ray's I'll make your coils for you. Send me some wire. Tim sent him a box of wire. Tim just sent him a box, here you go. A box of it's like he's his own garden gnome sweatshop of coil making. So Tim took that shit not lethal coils, lethal coils. I miss Lefa. So Lefa, yeah. How is Lefa? I forgot. How is Lefa? Chef, thank you so much. Says, on a happy note, my T-Rex shirt came in, and and was bought in homage to Sensei Thesis, to Sensei himself. And as requested, more NMD will be coming. Yes, along with cookies. I'm so fucking excited. The NMD ones, if you guys haven't checked out Chef's channel or Subaru Vape's channel or Georgia Boy TF Reviews, check them out. We like to support our own community. Chef NMD Reviews, he's getting better. Okay, it's getting better. I want him to send in a story submission to Darkness Radio, because I guarantee we can get that on there. Is that, let's see, doing okay. So
I'm excited for cookies.
Thank you, Mike, for that heads up. I don't know. Let me see. Let's see. Where is where can I get the red tampon combo? You know what? The tampon combo that's my favorite one. Hold on a second, guys. Babe talk.
What?
Anything.
Oh, I don't know what you're looking for. Why don't you just tell me what you're looking for instead? That's easier for me to do.
Oh no, Mike L Forbes he's good shit. Sav is good. He's good shit. He's good shit. And this is going to be offered only on the Patreon page. I only made 32 of them. And I promise as soon as I get my hands on more barrages, I will make them available elsewhere. But for now, the cats who support myself, Mandy, the TMD Live, the reviews, I got to give shout outs. Big, huge shout out to EMB, by the way, guys. We do have a special code on Patreon. I have 20% off and more. Thesis15 coupon code. And even if you use their coupon code for 25% off in the notes, if you just put sent by Thesis, I will get credit for that. So, just a heads up, please, for the love of God, you guys buy anything off of EMB, hit them up on the notes section. My personal favorite ones, hands down, it's not even a competition. For now, menthol is original cola, cherry cola vanilla. And then for menthol is icy blast lemon. And then it's been a toss up between the spearmint by Vape Chew, spearmint or wintergreen. Wintergreen is delicious. Spearmint is fucking delicious. Thesis sent you. Thank you, Yanni. I appreciate the hell out of that shit. And we are working on more guests. I'm actually working on one myself. Mike, thank you so much for helping out with that, by the way. I'm working on a couple of them that are non-vape related, they're fairly, decent size other YouTubers as well as radio show hosts. I'm waiting for a reply on one of them. I don't know if I ever told you guys the reply I got from Tara Reid. I got a reply from Tara Reid's people. He is expensive to do a verse with. So I am still figuring that out. It's very expensive. Way more money than I thought would even be. Yeah. Like I could probably hire, I don't know, Cassidy for the same price. Which doesn't say much, but you know what I'm saying. Sarah, hit the like button. That's right. Thank you so much. You have a good night. Jamal Drew, I agree. It was obviously terrible, but I think it's going to work. I don't remember what was it talking about.
I'm assuming we were talking about the protest earlier.
Oh, the protest earlier. Yes.
That was what I am assuming is.
Yeah. I haven't seen her from Leaf in about a year now. That's why I was surprised. No, I still hit Leaf up every once in a while via text message. Leaf is a really good man. He's a good dude. He's actually a super good father. That's kind of why he took a break from what he was doing, which is understandable. I hope he doesn't feel like people forgot about him. Anybody, it's not just him, but as a personality on YouTube.
Who?
Lefa Vapes. You know Lefa.
Do I?
Yes. We talked about his daughter one day. His daughter. Yeah, he's a good man. Let's see. I do an appearance for the low. Yeah, see? Yanni?
Do you need glasses?
No, I don't need glasses. Mandy, don't be stupid. There you go. See?
Oh, okay. You just have to take up your entire monitor for you to be able to see the chat.
I don't need glasses. Okay, so is they for sale? Or yes, they are for sale, but it's offered.
We have to try and figure out
Yes.
exactly how we're going to, because there are
Yes.
only 30-ish of them.
so far.
How we are going to allow who access to them first.
Well, it's
how
Patreon
we're
page
gonna-
first, and then the second batch is going to be non-Patreon. Hopefully, you know what I mean. But first come first serve type basis. It's not like I'm not going to just divvy them out to top tiers or anything. It's going to be offered to everyone. But it's exactly like I said, first come first serve. If you're a $10 tier, or if you're a $5 tier, if you're a $100 tier, doesn't matter. Everyone will have access to them about the same time. Meaning, I still have to take pictures of each and every one.
No, I know.
Yeah.
My brain is just working. I'm trying to come up with.
Guys, she is fucked up from. Have you ever been fucked up from just yard work?
Exhaustion. Just
exhaustion.
Like
yeah, that's how I feel.
Yeah,
that's how she feels.
But my brain is working on how we can.
You drank all my water.
You brought it down here empty. I filled it up before we ate. You brought it down here empty.
Chef, thank you so much. Can you please read that? Out loud.
What am I reading? Oh, Chef, it says, would you be willing to have the guest Ron Swanson from Surviving Life YT YouTube?
Yeah, absolutely. Nemessa, of course, that's what I
good cause, non-vape related.
It's Control Plus sign on Mac. Yard work, yes. Are you going to send out notification when you actually drop? Yes. On Patreon, absolutely. I'm going to be dropping them. So I'm taking pictures of each and every one of them individually. There's 64 of them total, plus a little bit more expensive on the kits. Purge mod, Squonk with a matching barrage, Tug Life. This is this old school Tug Life clone from like fucking 10, 20 years ago, with the zombie spray barrage. The tampon one is mine. It's my favorite one. And then let's see. This one is going to be Bam Bam Bam. So again, they're individually pictured. So give me a day or two to post them, and I'll post them. They're going to be it's going to be just numbered 1 through the number that there is. So like if you post in the comments underneath, put me down for number 12, then okay, boom, number 12 goes to
I'm okay.
Emily.
Don't say that yet, because I have a better idea for that, but I want to run it by you first.
Okay, so fuck me, right?
Well, no, I'm just thinking that if you just post, can you comment under the pictures?
Nope, Patreon doesn't let you do that. It's stupid. Listen, I like a lot. If it wasn't for Patreon, I wouldn't have a living. But their app fucking sucks. Their app is horse shit.
I think we have to. Let me run it by you when we're off air.
Okay, maybe I'll do batches of 5 at first.
I'm just going to tell you what I'm thinking.
Okay, because no one's claimed the Joker one yet, and
it's my favorite.
If no one claims the Joker one, I'm keeping that one.
It's really my favorite.
That one or the hot pink one. Oh my gosh. I think Adrian already claimed the pearl one, but yeah, it's going to be first come first serve under comments. I can't take it on a personal level.
I was just going to say, how could people claim them if you haven't put them up yet?
That's what I'm saying. Like I was just telling everyone the colors. Yeah, the charcoal gray with the purge though. Again, if some of them don't get claimed, I'm not mad. I'll keep them. They're that dope. I'm going to be doing some low serial number ones that I've kept from the first batch. Yeah. Ray's going to jump on the Joker. I don't know if the Joker one goes hard. Love that red lustro. Yeah, look at that combo. Like that shit, it looks like another condom, but just for a bigger vagines. You know what I mean? The black one, the pearlescent black one, is crazy. Steven, yeah. See, I bought the purge from Steven today because I'm like, I gotta hit him up for that cash. I gotta send it to him because I want to keep that mod just for this. Because I was and I was thinking about the other option was I got a couple other mods that I could paint. I have George Boy's fucking look at his logo, that black and red. Listen, Ashton, I don't know, man. That he murdered it.
Yeah, he did. He did a fantastic job.
And so did Bearded Viking. I was looking at him too. Like they're solid as fuck. Don't get me wrong. I've never had a powder coated product of anything that I know of. Yeah. What's crazy is when we sent this for bam. See, look at that. Al Forbes, man, Al Forbes is a gangster. I'm a little jelly about that. I was just wanting the casing of it. Yeah. And I want to buy that green one from him too, because I have a matching green brush for it. He's got another one of these purge mods that's matching that baby shit green.
Keep them all.
I know. No. I mean, I could potentially if I really wanted to. Mike, let me ask you a question, brother. Where did he go?
I'm here.
Oh, okay. What is your favorite one?
I mean, they all look pretty sick.
I appreciate
I
that.
was just gonna say, like, honestly, like, even if people don't get the quote unquote one they pick,
Yeah, they're all fucking cool.
I think out of all the ones I saw, and I'm not even a real red freak, but the one that matches your truck looks fucking sick.
I think so too. Thank you. And this is the Dreamer on here, by the way. Big shout out to Tenacious. Yeah, and I don't know. It's one of those where like I just want to touch them all for a little while. I just want to like, I'm not going to use them. Obviously, I was thinking about, I was like, I should do a build on that purge mod just to test it. You know, maybe the resistance is different with paint on it, you know? Because I'm going to review
only
this.
if the paint's on the threads.
Yeah, right. Well, it's not. I can tell you that firsthand. I inspected those bitches with a fine. Yeah, Mandy did too. The baby blue ones. That's so pretend there's no more tie dye, but just the baby blue with the white, and then
the clouds looking one you showed us.
Yeah. So there's
I think the one Adrian wants is pretty sick too.
I gave away my Wismec Rouleau 2/3 baby blue, the Tiffany blue one.
Oh.
And to Josh in the militia, and I'm gonna get it back. I want it back just for that RDM. Like, hey, how much do you want for that mod? Because I will have that from you.
So you can have another barrage on top of it.
Yes.
I just said you can't.
No, to match it, to sell as a combo.
Because I was like, what are you talking about?
For me, if I buy a custom painted anything, I want it to match a mod. I don't just want it just for shits and giggles. You know what I mean?
Yep.
But I also have a pearlescent iJoy sitting over there, pearlescent white with a pro. Sorry, I'm getting super ahead of myself.
Yes, a little bit.
All right, guys. I think we should wrap it up.
I was gonna say, I'm so sorry. This has been rough.
I know Manny's tired as fuck. My brass vitality Mac tubes tits. Oh fuck yeah, bro. And Mike, thank you so much for all the hard work you do, man. I appreciate it more than you know. And I know you've had a rough day. I want to wish you love and happiness upon thee like this. Absolutely. Do you want to talk about it or no?
No, I'm good.
Okay. Now, okay, so check this out. So by the house, they're building a pit bike track, or what I thought was a pit bike track. All of a sudden, we start going by it, and it's a 5th scale track.
Really?
Bro, but it's and I thought I thought they were just expanding the RC air because they had an RC air field, airplane field. Yeah. I'm just not in I'm in helicopters, but RC airplanes are just like difficult and expensive and for rich old white folks. And dude, we were on the lake, and dude brought out a fucking 5th scale airplane. So we're me and Sean. This is on our way back after the not going backwards, but going forwards this time. And I'm like, is that that's because there have nonstop air traffic on that water for they train pilots for water landings with the fucking big skis on them, shit, water planes. So I assumed it was one of those because they're small, they're not that big. But that was when I realized, I'm like, no, I recognize a 2-stroke 5th scale engine anywhere. You know what I mean? And I turned the boat down, and this fucking plane, bro, was the size of our boat. Like it was the size of the boat. Dude's going, and as soon as I realized it was RC's, when he starts doing barrel rolls, just like instantaneously, it's like, oh my god!
I'm sure you've seen a lot of that shit on YouTube from Switzerland.
Yes,
a lot of those rich motherfuckers that got 3rd scale.
Mm-hmm.
Holy shit!
Did you ever
planes and stuff?
It's crazy. Ride in one of those.
Yeah, it's crazy how big they are. Yeah.
And I get it. It's super cool. Don't get me wrong. It's just like one of those things where it's not. I met a 3M. He wasn't an executive. But he worked for 3M. He rode up in I just got done buying 2 5th scales at that shop. Big shout out to Hobby King in Minneapolis. Picked up a low C DBXL and a Baja at that time. Yeah, 5 years ago, something like that. And as I'm sitting there, dude's in a full suit, pulls up in a brand new Navigator. I'm like, what the fuck is this dude doing at a hobby shop? He doesn't know what he's talking about. Now, this hobby shop specializes in large scale aircraft. So what I would call, they're not that big. They're like, 5-6 feet wingspan, 7 feet wingspan, which is huge to me, but like it's whatever. So it turns out 3M headquarters here has a fucking RC airfield.
Wow.
And this dude, who was a super just down to earth, not down to earth, super upscale good looking Cuban dude, fucking like did not belong in RC. And this dude sitting there talking shop, pulls down the biggest fucking airplane that's hanging from the ceiling and walks out with not that one, but the kit. And this dude, turns out this dude builds, he's like amazing, but they pay like $300 a month just for access to this 3M airfield.
That's crazy.
It is super. The amount of money that shit takes to build blows my mind. I don't know. I find that stuff super fascinating.
And it could all go up in a split second.
That's what my fifth scales. I've crashed my very expensive Baja all carbon fiber chassis, and it sucked. But I bent a couple of fucking A-arms and like lost a couple of Jesus clips, and that was it. You know what I mean? But it doesn't fall from the sky in a fiery ball. Have you ever seen
You got to pay to play, right?
Yeah, well, dude, I was on a compilation of watching maiden flight fails of like, $800 T-Rexes, the helicopters.
Mm-hmm.
I can't do it. It makes me cringe.
Yeah.
Like when you see someone's first maiden flight and they just cross the wires on the receiver. So like you're I don't even know how they get the shit in the fucking air. Oh my God. When you watch kids first try to do their first 3D tricks, like the TikToks, not TikTok, the app, but like with the helicopter, and just right into the ground. I'm like, oh, your dad's so mad at you right now. Of course, NASA's watching T-Rexes fly. Fuck off, Steven. It's a brand by Blade helicopters. It's fun. All right, guys. With that said, thank you so much, Mike. Thank each and every one of you guys. I know we didn't have a guest on this evening. I apologize. It's been, we're just getting back in the swing of things. More reviews this week. I'm excited to do them. Bitch, it's okay. Spell the truck is down. With that being said, what the fuck is my outro? This is how long we've been on vacation. Bitch, it's okay. Mother truck is down. With that being said, I appreciate it. Thesis. It is your boy Thesis. Black Lives Matter.
Love each other.
Wait.
What?